Picture handling a chord progression to hundreds of fingerstyle guitarists. 99 of them come back with basically the same pattern: thumb, index, middle and ring, repeated on autopilot, chord after chord. Paul McCartney doesn't do that. Let's take for example Her Majesty, the song we are going through today. To the listener it initially sounds like a conventional fingerstyle performance, but when you slow the performance down you realize that McCartney is not approaching the chords as fixed blocks of sound. He treats each chord as a palette of available notes, choosing specific strings and intervals to create the movement he wants. So where the ear perceives this, what he really plays is which at real speed is this. If you think the level of the details you're going to see is worth preserving for future generations to enjoy this incredible music, please support my work. And now let's go through the tutorial on how to play the acoustic guitar on Her Majesty by the Beatles. In the original recording, Paul played a Martin D28 guitar, just like the one that I'm using here. Another very important factor to reproduce the same sound of the original recording is plucking in the same exact portion of the strings where Paul played. So to do this, I suggest that you place your wrist on the bridge here and pluck in this part of the strings here, just aside of the sound hole. The finger-picking pattern that Paul uses throughout the whole song is quite the same as the one he uses in Mother Nature's Son, for example. It's very effective because it gives the impression of two guitars playing together, one the accompaniment and one a melody, but it's just one guitar playing. For example, in Mother Nature's Son it goes like this. In Her Majesty it plays almost the same pattern. So let's divide this in two movements to make it simple. During the first movement, Paul plays two strings, a lower string, which is usually the root of the chord. For example, for a D chord, the D string, the fourth, open string, and then higher string, together, like this. After playing the two outer strings with thumb and index, with his index finger, Paul plays the in-between strings with a down, up, thumb, up, down movement. Then he runs throughout the chords by moving the bass line. Let's start with the first verse. During the first verse, Paul applies the same finger-picking pattern that I showed you before. So it starts with a D, and then it goes down with the pinky and the thumb on the lows by applying the same finger-picking pattern that I showed you before. So D chord, and then pinky on the 4th fret of the 5th string, the A string. So it's a C sharp. Then we move down with the thumb on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, so B. Again, slow. And then open 5th string. Then Paul goes to a E7, plucked this way. So thumb on the low E string and then the upward movement of the index, 2nd, 3rd and 4th string. So after he plays this, he goes down with the index finger on the 5th, 4th and 3rd, and then hits open 2nd and 3rd, and goes to A, this shape, playing it like this. So there is a sort of hammer-on legato here, but it's very fast, so it's quite impossible to understand if it's chromatic or directly our full step. At real speed, it goes like this. Let's recap the whole thing until now. As a bridge from one verse to another, Paul plays this, with this exact muting cadence. The second verse repeats itself exactly like the first, except that when he gets to the E7, Paul stays a little bit more on the E7. And he plays like this. So there is the same legato as before. Let's recap the second verse. When Paul gets back to his A chord here, he plays this. Let me explain this. This is the A chord, and then he has the medium and ring finger to form a D. And he plays this in a specific way. He gets here with a soft strumming, and then he pushes hard on the A and the D. And he catches the F sharp on the high string of the second fret. Then Paul plays a B minor. And here something very interesting happens. So first he decides to strum the root fifth with the thumb. So. And he passes from this chord to this other one, which I don't know which chord is it. You are the expert of the chords. I don't really know anything about music theory. And as a demonstration that you don't need any music theory to go into such details of dissecting the parts of a guitar part, for example, of a harmony. So, and when he does this, he adds a little pause of a microsecond between these two notes, which creates an incredible tension. So it's not, it's, and if you think about it, this is perfectly coherent with this part of the song, which is in minor. It adds some more suspense to it, some more dramatic feel to it. Then after this, it goes to a D7, played here, standard D7, and it might have its nails quite long because the downward strumming here on the D7 plays exactly like the upward strumming here. Then it goes to a G played like this and to a C7 played like this. And he plays the two chords the same way. Let's dissect this G and C7 part, because it's quite sophisticated, and it's a very good example of how Paul's style in Her Majesty is just not strumming, but it's very effective and sophisticated. Upward movement with the index from the second string on. Thumb hits the third fret on the low E string, the sixth string. So, then downward, upward movement with the index basically on the two inner strings, so the third and the fourth. Then thumb on the B, second fret of the fifth string, the A string. So again. And then upward movement from the second string on, then downward movement with the index until you reach the G on the high E string. Again, the whole G chord. Then he slides with the ring finger from the third fret of the fourth string, the D string, to the fifth fret to form a C7. And he strums this the same way as he does with the G. If you think about it, Paul is playing this song by, continually changing the way he plugs the strings to form a second melody under the main melody of the singing. He's doing this in a song that features 3 chords every second. He's doing this at a speed that is absolutely unimaginable and almost impossible to reproduce. He's singing over it and he's recording this live. So this gives you the measure of the outstanding talent of this guy. And now the final section of the song. Let me show this one to you at low speed and then we'll go through what Paul plays. First chord, D. Thumb down, up, index, first and second. Then index down, third, up, second. Then B7, played here. Down, fifth, up, fourth, down, third and second. Then E minor 7, again we see the thumb here on the 6th and then upward index second and third. And then he let this note ringing and it goes to A, played like this, down, 5th, up, 4th, down, index, 3rd and 2nd. And he also lightly catches the F sharp on the high string of the 2nd fret. Then he repeats the phrase and he has the legato on the A, as we saw in the verse. So and then he plays a D, open, 5th, and then he hits very hard the D like this. So he's basically playing the 1st, the 2nd and the 3rd and the open 4th. Sort of a style he uses in Calico Skies. Thank you for staying with me and remaining with me until now. Of course, if you want more tutorials, if you want more lessons, let me know in the comments. Let me know anything you want in the comments. Hit the bell button, subscribe to the channel, support the channel, please. And then, yes, I hope you had fun with this because my goal is to let you enjoy the most possible how this amazing music is crafted so you can listen to it in a new guise and also play it in a more enjoyable way. Have fun.